We're going to continue our mindset series, and this one is video 2. Today we're going to be chatting about the problem of seeking validation from others. Hi, I'm Paula Rose. Thank you for your company today. This channel is all about lifestyle, home, health and faith. Please subscribe and tick that bell, and please like, because that'll help me out a lot. Thank you. It seems to me that most of my life I've spent trying to seek approval from others, whether it was parents, siblings, friends, teachers, whoever, always trying to please other people, and you find yourself absolutely trapped within your own mindset. You can lose your individuality, you can lose exactly who you are, because you're always trying to please other people. And of course, pleasing others is a difficult task because you've got so many people to please and they've got different standards, different values. So what do you do in that context? What do you do? Seeking validation from others entraps us in a mindset that we really can't get out. And for extreme cases, it can actually lead to mental illness. Seeking validation from others can become an addiction and can start in the earliest of childhood. Depending on our personality, whether we are susceptible to it or not, and depends on our family environment as well. Trying to seek validation for others, we try to become more lovable, we try to become more agreeable, we try to be more available to people and to be what they want us to be, and even do what they want us to do. Have you heard about people that have taken on careers they did not want because they wanted to please the ambitions of their parents? You may be one of those people. And the thing is that it can become so ingrained within our character and our personality that we don't realize we're actually doing it. We just think that we are just easygoing people. But in fact, it might not be that we're easygoing. It's just that we don't like conflict. We want to please people, and so we become agreeable, even when deep down in our heart it may be grinding against our own values, against what we really want and what we really want for our future. And the thing is about seeking validation from others can be addictive, is that it gives us some sort of high. It gives us our self-worth, so we keep on seeking it. And that's why people who do this can end up in abusive relationships, because abusive people go for vulnerable people who are totally agreeable and will go along with absolutely anything. So we can find ourselves in the most devastating situations because we want that validation from others. And it's very difficult to get out of, because if it is addictive into our personalities, then we just keep seeking that validation after validation, regardless of how we get treated. So in this sense, it's a really serious and dangerous mindset to have in this regard. So let's look at briefly how we actually come to understand whether we seek validation from others or not. I have 8 short points here. The first one is that, do you feel less adequate than other people? Do you look at other people and feel that they are better than you and you are far less worthy? Do you allow them to dominate the conversation and even to boss you around because you feel less than they are? The second point is, do you compare yourself to others? Do you look at how you dress, and do you look at how you look and how you talk and how you are, and compare yourself to others? Do you compare your education, your skills, your abilities to other people? Do you measure yourself up to other people and judge yourself accordingly? Do you judge yourself as a success or failure as you compare yourself to others? Do you adjust yourself when you compare yourself to others so you would feel as successful as they are? The third point is, when you compare yourself to others, do you feel like a failure? Do you feel that no matter what you do and how much you do those things that make others successful, that you still feel like a failure? You just don't feel as nice as them, as pretty as them, as popular as them, as handsome as them, as rich as them, and as happy as them. Do you compare yourselves to the point where you have this terrible failure complex in everything you do, or most things you do? Number 4, are you agreeable even though you actually disagree, and you find yourself smiling and nodding and going along, but in your heart, in your thoughts, you're saying, oh, I don't really agree with this, but you don't allow that to be known at all? Number 5, do thoughts come to you and you don't express them in case you're laughed at, in case you're wrong somehow? I remember when I was a child at school, I would never answer any questions that the teacher would ask in case I was wrong and I didn't want to be laughed at. And in those days you had the corporal punishment, and I was so scared, and that became a real habit for me, that I didn't express my thoughts for many years, right until late adulthood, because I really didn't want to get things wrong. Is that you? Can you relate to that? Number 6, do you take things to heart? Do you think that people are having goes at you or trying to wind you up even when they're not? Do you feel that thoughts or looks or attitudes, or sometimes somebody may inadvertently ignore you, do you think that is a deliberate act towards you of rejecting you? Point 7, are you highly self-critical? When we are wanting to please other people and seek their validation, we examine ourselves. We can look in the mirror and make sure everything's perfect, everything's right. Even some people rehearse their speech, some people rehearse their attitudes, people either role play a situation before they go into it. Because they are so self-critical of exactly who they are, and they can never relax. They're very tense, and some people can be very tense because they are so self-critical they just don't know how to be themselves. And point 8, do you avoid any sort of confrontation? Do you just smile and go along with something just to cool the situation down, even though you don't agree with it, because you don't want to be able to meet the challenge? Perhaps because you don't feel that you would get validated in any way if you actually exercised your own opinion. So you allow problems to rise, and you allow them to continue on and go totally unresolved, even for years. These are just a few questions to help you to get started with. Don't overburden yourself and spend too much time on them. I've linked the transcript of this video down below, and you'll see it all in detail. It will lead you to my blog, which you have a word-for-word transcript and all of these questions written down if you wish to refer to them. But this is to get you started, to actually help you to examine yourself and to ask yourself, am I highly sensitive to other people to the point where I seek validation and become a people pleaser? When it comes to ourselves, there's no right or wrong answers. There's just honest answers to how we feel. Write them down in a journal. Write these questions down in a journal and answer them at your own leisure. You know, it really doesn't matter what people think, but when you're seeking validation from others, that becomes quite an overwhelming factor, because it really does matter what people think. But to try to get free of that, I'm hoping that this video will be a start to help you to be free, to find your own identity, so you can find out who you are and learn to love yourself as you are, and not trying to please everybody and feel like you're just torn in several different directions. When we get rid of that nagging voice inside of our heads that we have to seek approval from others, we are free. And that is our goal, to be free, to really be the genuine person who we are, to understand who we are. So don't look at this as a big mountain that is really difficult to climb. Just take this step by step, and this is why I've made these videos short and with blogs, so you can refer to them, and one step at a time. My previous blog and video, I will link down. The Mindset Series 1 will be, and you can have a look at that if you haven't seen that. But look out for number 3 next week. I'll be posting these Mindset Series every Wednesday, and I hope they really will help you on your journey to being you. I hope this video will help you to start you on your journey to freedom and to find out who you really are and get to know yourself. So please like and subscribe, and to tick that bell so to make sure that you get all the updates of this series. Thank you very much for your company. I really enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. And remember, live life on purpose, in hope, faith and love. Bye bye for now.